The Ascension. I'd heard the message countless times before, or at least, I thought I had. The story of Jesus' life, death, and resurrection was etched into my mind from childhood. But the Ascension. It had always felt like the forgotten act, a historical footnote after the main event. It was just when he physically left the earth, a goodbye before the disciples got to work. That was it. But the ascension of Jesus is not departure, but of promotion. God didn't just welcome Jesus back, but lifted him up to a place of power and his very own throne. It wasn't just a change in location, it was an exaltation, a shared authority. This power was the same power that would later send the Holy Spirit into the world. It was the divine engine of all the blessing that was to come. I saw the pattern then, a blueprint for my own life. Christ became a blessing not by clinging to his own life, but by giving it up, by dying to himself, and waiting for God to raise him up. It was only after that ultimate act of surrender that God exalted him and gave him the fullness of the Holy Spirit to share with us. I realized my own attempts to be a blessing were often just me trying to produce something good for my own strength. I hadn't followed the pattern. I hadn't truly died to myself. It wasn't enough to simply know about Christ's ascension or even to try to mimic his pattern. The ultimate secret was that he had to live in me. This wasn't just a poetic idea, it was the core of everything. My feebleness, the spiritual weakness I saw in myself and in the church, was a symptom of this missing truth. I was trying to live a resurrected life without the indwelling life of Christ himself. The only way to be brought into a true living fellowship with God was for Christ's life, his dependence, his sacrifice, his resurrection, and his exalted life, to become a living reality within me. Suddenly, it all made sense. The ascension wasn't just a historical event, it was the promise of a power that could be mine. The pattern wasn't just an example to follow, it was the path to that very power. And the indwelling life wasn't just a mystery, it was the only way to move from spiritual feebleness to a full, glorious Christian life. I believed in this message because it connected the dots of a story I thought I knew and revealed a profound, living truth that I desperately needed to experience.